and welcome to Uno Mix. I'm your host, Tyler Matsinani. On this episode, we're getting to know a small business operating all the way out in North Carolina. Plus, we'll also catch up with a local musician that's finding ways of bringing music to the people amongst the pandemic. But first, I wanted to mention that if you or anyone you know that's a foodie, small business, artist, or really anything cool, hey, if you want me and Team Uno to do a challenge, we're up for it. All you gotta do is message me. I'll throw in the details at the end of the show. But first, I wanted to introduce our first guest, Natasha Basa, owner of Mermaid Jane. She's spreading the holiday spirit from abroad. Natasha Basa is the founder of Mermaid Jane, a craft shop on Etsy that started in 2018. Natasha creates a wide range of crafts from stickers to postcards, doormats, and so much more. She says that her creations are a reflection of herself, feminine, minimalist, and inspired by the Chamorro culture.
My dad's retired Army. I kind of moved around until I was like 5, but my family's from Saipan, so we moved to Saipan when I was 5. So I was there until I was about 15.
Now living in North Carolina, Natasha has found a way to merge her love for creating art with her roots, and it all started at the request of her mother. And you already know how it goes. If mom asks you to do something, you better do it. Luckily for Natasha, it was a way for her to project her artistry.
I used to make cards for my mom, so I like lettering. Brush lettering has always been like something I enjoy doing, writing in cursive. And my mom would always ask if I could make some in Chamorro. Something that she could give to a family back home, you know, something special that wasn't in English. And my boyfriend was like, well, why don't you try selling the stuff?
And they're in high demand. With one of her hottest sellers being her Holiday doormats, Natasha had to create a wait list, which has since been closed due to the high influx in orders.
Right now I'm going to school, so I'm in school full time, so it's kind of why the doormats I had to close the wait list. I didn't realize how much people wanted it, and having school full time and having to make the rugs can be a lot.
Balancing a business while being a full-time student is no joke.
I actually have like my homework like all next to me. I'm in the after I get off, I'm gonna be doing homework until late. So
just like any new business, Natasha went through cycles of trial and error before finding what worked best. She experimented with different paints.
I did resin, I tried watercolor, I was trying to sell all these things, and nothing really clicked.
Different techniques.
But I started with watercolor, just playing around, but I didn't like the quality of the paper, so I didn't like that it was inconsistent, so if somebody wanted to buy something, it wasn't always going to be the same.
And many different products.
I made something that was inspired by Magahaga Rising. They had the future is Famalawan, and so I was like, well, I want to make something about the children, you know, the future is the Famagun the children are the future. And I guess that caught their attention, and it kind of started from that point on.
But she eventually found her flow, and fast forward 2 years later, Natasha says the overall positive feedback of her products has encouraged her to continue creating for Chamorros on Guam and abroad.
You know, I forget that there's a lot of Chamorro people that live outside of the islands that miss home a lot, and I think that's why the doormats were super popular, was just because a lot of people are like, this is like a piece, like right before you come into my house, you have that welcome greeting, and it's in my language.
And throughout the success and continued growth of Mermaid Jane, Natasha credits her mother and boyfriend who gave her the encouragement to further pursue her art.
She's the one who's always throwing the ideas. She helps me with spell checking because I know the words in Chamorro, but I don't know how to spell any of them. So like sometimes I'm not sure. I'm like, do you need to put a glota here or what, you know? And so I thank her, and especially my boyfriend, who's just been like super supportive. Like for Christmas, he got me, you know, the Cricut machine so that I could make more stuff. And he's basically my what would you call it? Like the person that funds the business.
Mom comes up with the ideas, boyfriend gets the stuff, you execute.
Yes, exactly.
In the future, she hopes to launch her own online shop as well as explore ways of giving back to those in need at home. Be on the lookout because according to Natasha, another goal of hers is to launch a series of notebooks and mugs by the spring. You don't want to miss these Chamarita charms. Check out her Instagram and Etsy at Mermaid Jane for more. I can't wait to get my Hoffaday mat in the mail. Make sure to check out her Etsy store for the perfect stocking stuffer. Don't go anywhere. More Uno Mix when we return. Welcome back to Uno Mix. The lockdown restrictions have made it hard on everyone, and our local musicians are no exception. But our man Joe Guam has taken a different approach during this pandemic. His name alone conveys Chamorro pride. Joe Guam. If you've ever had a chance to interact with him, you'd know that his positive vibes are portrayed beyond his music, with songs like Mahalang Nuhagu.
Last night I dreamt I was returning. In my heart, going out to you.
Day by day,
It's bigger than you and greater than me. We're doing this for humanity. Put your faith in one another. We'll be okay.
and you brought back my smile.
Now here we are, my childhood dreams come true. That I wear this ring from you.
Joe Guam's music is bound to bring a smile to your face. But with COVID-19 sweeping across the island, musicians like Joe went from playing anywhere from 5 to 10 gigs a week to none at all.
We weren't considered essential, but at the same time, we still wanted to contribute to society, contribute to the community.
So it was time to think outside the box.
I started live streaming, and to be honest, the first couple of live streams, the house wasn't set up for the, living room live stream, a quarantine kind of edition type of thing, and the way it is now, it wasn't set up for that. We had the kids' stuff everywhere. My son was just barely 10 months old at the time. And so, yeah, we just had everything was everywhere.
What originally began with just wanting to continue contributing music to an audience in need of a sense of comfort and normalcy.
I went 6 months before I even put up a link for a donation, any PayPal link or anything like that. We didn't put any of that in any of the live streams because it wasn't about that. It wasn't about asking for donations.
Resulted in Joe landing virtual gigs and gaining a supportive audience.
What only pushed us to open up the donation link was we were getting a lot of messages, from people saying, hey, please, we want to donate, please, we want to donate. And, our Chamorro custom, when someone wants to give, it's almost insulting if you don't accept it, right? So, after us saying, please, don't worry about it, just enjoy the music, we've been blessed to have some sponsors and all that kind of stuff. And after all of that, we finally said, we'll open it up. And if you know that show's still on Facebook. The show where I first opened up, oh my God, I'm choking up now. But the show where I first opened up the donation link, it brought me to tears, and it made me cry. Whoa, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to cry on this stuff, right? It's not really working. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, it really broke me down. The support of everybody for me and my family was just overwhelming.
But Joe's live streams date back 2 years ago when Facebook first came out with its live feature. His reach went everywhere from London to China to Russia. Chamorros everywhere around the world tuned in to hear the tunes that brought them back home. Fueled by love and encouragement, Joe moved from doing videos on his front porch to eventually moving his studio equipment into the bedroom. The live streams gave him the opportunity to not only play music for a crowd again, but he was also able to support both his family and Guam's businesses.
It ended up being that we could help other businesses with who needed to promote themselves. So it was kind of a match made in heaven. We would do the live stream and they would sponsor our live stream and we could kind of make and earn some living, doing it.
He's done over 100 live streams since March and has even started growing his YouTube channel. The playback-friendly feature of YouTube allowed him to compile a load of playlists. He released 30 Chamorro songs in October alone. Throughout the journey, Joe credits his wife, Jacqueline, for making sure his covers and originals come out A1.
She's actually the real musician in the house. So anything, when I compose a ukulele solo, I say, okay, it's done. Come in and listen to it. Make sure I don't have any wrong notes. She'll be like, oh, that note's wrong. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, that note's wrong. So, and she's really the musician in the house. I'm kind of the, I guess, backyard barbecue musician, if you want to say.
With the holidays approaching, Joe and Jacqueline decided to release a 16-track Christmas album on Thanksgiving.
It's all covers. We have some originals that we haven't recorded yet. We're factoring the originals into our 2021 release strategy. So that's kind of how we go from now on. There'll be songs on there like Blue Christmas, Let It Snow, right? It doesn't even snow on Guam. But when you hear that song with the ukulele in there, a little island vibe, right? And a good, island style beat. It just brings a different type of holiday feel.
In addition to bringing music to the people, Joe and Jacqueline are also offering virtual piano and ukulele lessons. For everything Joe Guam, follow him on Instagram, subscribe to his YouTube channel, or go to his website, joeguam.com. And make sure to give that holiday track a listen. The entire playlist is on his YouTube page. Stick around because we have a little treat for you 21 and older viewers.